Hi everyone! Today I'm going to tell you one of my favorite stories. The story of the little brown bear. I walked toward the forest with a basket in my hand. I was looking for the sweetest blackberries, boysenberries, and raspberries I could find. I planned to mix them together and bake one of the dwarf's favorite desserts, a gooseberry pie. My woodland friends followed along the trail. I crossed a winding stream and climbed up a small cliff. "Why, look at all the berries!" I exclaimed. The bunnies hopped along to a nearby bush and happily nibbled on the juicy fruit. I began to fill my basket. "These are the biggest blackberries I've ever seen," I said. "The pie will be delicious." When my basket was almost full, I heard a strange noise. "I think someone is in trouble," I said. Me and my rabbit friends followed the sound to a hollow log in the middle of a small clearing. I peeked inside the fallen tree. A brown bear cub was trapped inside. "Oh, you poor little fellow," I cried. The cub whimpered. "Don't worry," I said. "We'll find a way to get you out." Me and the bunnies looked for a way to free the bear cub. The little rabbits began pushing him out of the log, but they weren't strong enough. I reached into the log and tried to pull the cub out, but I couldn't get to him. "I think we need some help. Don't you?" I asked the three rabbits. They looked at each other, then twitched their noses at me. "Run to the meadow as quickly as you can and bring the other animals back here," I said. "Please hurry." The rabbits nodded their heads and scurried away. When the bunnies reached the meadow, they told a bird about the little bear cub. "Tweet, tweet," the bird cried. It flew as quickly as it could to tell the other birds, who flew through the forest and told the deer. The next message went to the squirrels. The squirrels ran to share the news with the raccoons, who let the beavers and the moles know. Soon a whole group of animals were making their way toward the bear. Meanwhile, back in the clearing, I tried to comfort the little bear. "Once, when I was a little girl, I got stuck in a tree," I told him. "I climbed all the way to the top, but I couldn't figure out how to get down." The little bear stopped crying and listened to my soothing voice. But then a kindly farmer came along and helped me down. "So I know just how you feel," I finished. The bear cub peered up at me and gently patted his head. Suddenly, the leaves rustled, birds twittered, and hooves sounded on the ground. My woodland friends had just arrived. "Oh, little bear, a lot of my friends have come to help," I cried. "We'll have you out of there soon." Me and my animal friends gathered around the log. "Can anyone think of a way to free him?" I asked. The raccoons and squirrels scurried inside the fallen tree to measure its width. The raccoons climbed into one end of the log and pushed the cub, while the squirrels climbed into the other end and pulled him out. The moles and the chipmunks even tried to move the log, but they couldn't budge the little bear. Then the deer stepped forward. They used their large antlers to tip one end of the log up so the bear could slide out. But he was still stuck. The animals began to get discouraged. "We can't give up yet," I cried. The bird flew to the log and pointed to a small hole at the top. Then he began to peck at it. After a while, the beavers caught on and began to chew on the log. The hole grew bigger and bigger as the animals worked together. "They're making the hole large enough for the little cub to climb out of," I said excitedly. Soon the hole was large enough for a bear cub to fit through. Finally, they were done. "Little bear," I called, "it's all right. You can come out now." The animals in the clearing watched silently. I nervously clasped my hands. The log rocked back and forth, and I heard a faint rustling sound. The bear cub's head popped out of the hole, and he looked around at all the animals who had helped him. Me and my friends cheered. The bear cub wriggled out of the log. He was free. I gave him a warm hug. "Are you hungry?" I asked. The bear cub looked at me with interest. I picked up the basket of ripe berries from the edge of the clearing and set it down near the little bear cub. He sniffed it hungrily. "Would you like some?" I began. The bear cub ran to the basket and began eating. "Berries?" I finished. I began to laugh. The bear cub just kept eating and eating. He seemed to be fine after his adventure inside the log. My, you are hungry," I said. The bear cub looked up from the basket. His face and paws were covered in berry juice. "I think I'll need to pick some new berries for the dwarf's pie," I exclaimed. My animal friends laughed. The little bear cub giggled. He was happy to be free and to have made so many new friends. Thank you for listening to The Little Bear Cub. My good friend Madeline will join you next time. It's such a pleasure reading to you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.